Saraswati river was taken and given an example of that one. And in that we have Rigveda mantra, Om Pavakanaha Saraswati Vaje Virvajini Ivati Yagnam Vastu Dhiya Vasuhu. In this mantra, Saraswati is not a river, it is Jnana. So when these mantras are explained properly with proper meanings and understood from Panini Maharshi's Ashtadhyayi, we will not go wrong anywhere. Nowhere, no chance. So by the way, when we say that Vedas are 1.97 years old, how do you prove that point? I'll prove by Professor Bharadwaj's statement about Grand Canyon, so which is in US. The Grand Canyon is a plateau like this initially, but when it started raining, a river started flowing on that, and then it started becoming like this. A canyon has formed. And the oldest one is said to be about 2 billion years old. And our, from ancient time in India, go to any corner of India, the Sankalpa part is done like this. Om Tat Sat Ajya Brahmanaha Dvitiya Prahararte Sweta Varaha Kalpe Saptame Vaivasvatamanvantare Astavim Satitame Kaliyuge Pradamapade and so on. So in this, if you calculate the Manvantras, Saptama Manvantara, 7th Manvantara and 28th Chaturyuga, all these put together will become about 1.97 billion years. And the Grand Canyon, the oldest one is about 2 billion years. So what is the connection between these two? Agnimi ile purohitam. This mantra is a Rigveda mantra, first mantra. It shows about yajna. So the process of yajna can cause rains. So how do we believe this one? Is it a story or is it a fact? It's a fact. Let's prove it just in 1 minute. So anthropogenic particles, without anthropogenic particles, we don't have rains. Anthropogenic particles are particles which are given by humans by their activity. So until humans come onto the surface of Earth, you don't have rains. That's proved by Grand Canyon, that without rain, there was no question of cutting that mountain. So therefore, it's understood that before 2 billion years, we started getting rains. So that rains are possible only with yajna, the first mantra of Rigveda mantra, and our Sankalpa part, which says 1.97 billion years. And oxygen onto the earth came only about 2 billion years ago. So all this put together, Ved Satya Hai. Whatever is there in Veda is a factual knowledge. So let me share my screens. If you can see this, then I can explain this one. Om Surya Chandramasau Dhata Yatha Purva Makalpayat Divancha Prithvin Chantariksha Mato Swaha. Vedas contain factual knowledge of past, present, and future. This mantra gives about future, past, and present, all the three at one time. So this shows that Paramatma creates the universe as it was created in the past kalpa. So it goes on further also. So because this kalpa is past for the future kalpa, and past kalpa is past for us. So this way, the knowledge has been carried from past to present to future. So whatever today you're discussing, that discussion has happened in the Purva Kalpa also in a similar manner, but in a different approach it might be. But the knowledge was there previously. That knowledge is now, and in future the knowledge will be there. If somebody says that, there was no rockets in the past or no planes in the past, don't go by stories. We are not going by stories. We are going by Vedas. So was there talk about creation? Let's talk about creation. So in the creation, we are told that Big Bang, that is the universe is expanding. But Veda does not say it expands only, because this mantra says that Purva Kalp, present Kalp, future Kalp. So it expands and contract. Recently, the news has come that scientists are discovering that the expansion is decelerating. That means there'll be a big crunch. So Big Bang, big crunch. That indicates that this mantra is true. So we should not say this point. We should say Ved is true, then the science is true. Not science is true, that's why Ved is true. That's wrong. Ved is true, then only science. That's why वेद को कहा जाता है कि सकल सच्च विद्याओं का पुस्तक है, ग्रंथ है. So that is Ved. Now about creation, what did Ved say? Om Rutancha Satyamcha Bhidda Tapaso Ajjajayata Tato Ratrejayata Tataha Samudro Dharnavaha. Specially mentioned very clearly how the Big Bang has occurred. Then scientists till today, they do not know what is time. What is time? Is it a mental concept or a physical entity? Ved says it's a physical entity. It's made of minute particles. And the next one shows that one. Om Samudradarnavadadi Samvatsaro Ajayata Aho Ratrani Vidada Diswasya Mishato Vasi. These three mantras, what I stated now, are from Aghavarshana Suktam, which you do Sandhya Vandanam every day, morning and evening. So this is from Rigvedam, 10th Mandala, 190 Suktam, and the three mantras. And now, about electromagnetic radiation. So in the Ved it is there, doesn't mean it is not there in the past. No, it was there in the past. That's what I told at the beginning. So, Om Tat Vishnoha Paramam Padam Sada Paschyanti Surayaha Diviva Chakshuratatam. In this very clearly stated that the electromagnetic waves, how they spread in the space, that is how Vishnu Padam is also spread. This only the scholars can see. So this understood. If you do not have the knowledge of electromagnetic waves spreading in the space, how can the mantra come out like that? Is it if somebody wrote it, it cannot come out. So it was there, the knowledge was there in the past. So that's why it is there now. It will be there in the future. And the three types of energies which are present, Ved specifically says, Om idam Vishnur vichakrame tredha nidhade padam samohlamasya pamsure. So the three energies, that is one in sun, one inside the earth, one in the antariksham. This antariksham energy is sometimes appearing, sometimes not appearing, which we call it as Vidyut. And the one which is inside the earth is Agni. One inside the sun is the solar energy. So the three energies are mentioned in this. Without knowing what is Jyurlokam, what is sun, how can somebody say that there is energy in the sun? So simple story. And then now, in Vedas describe how to prepare astras and shastras. Om Sthiravaha Santvayudha Paranude Vilu Utapratishkabhe Yushmakamastu Tavishi Paniyasi Mamartyasya Mayanaha. This clearly gives the mathematical formulas are there in this. Maybe people see it as a mantra, only chanting, but mathematical formulas are there in this equation, in this particular mantra. Every mantra has the mathematical concept, physical concept, and mental concept, all the three things. How to decipher is the question. When in Naimisharanya, if this science center comes out, you have to decipher these mantras into a mathematical form, which this university, we are doing that one at present. And then number system. See, 1 to 10 number system in Atharva Veda. Ya etam devam eka vratam Veda, na dvitiyo, na trutiyo, chaturto, na pyuchyate. Like this, the number system goes up to 10. So that's saying that God is only one, there's no gods more than that. By explaining that, the number system was explained. And then in this Yajurveda 1824, Ekachame, Tisrastame, Tisrastame, Panchachame, Panchachame, this mantra goes on. This is calculus. Do you believe that this is calculus? If any scientist is there who's dealing with calculus there, tell me how a computer can do calculations like differentiation and integration. It does it by number system. It doesn't do integration how we do by formulas. The computer computes in the terms of numbers. That is this mantra. So this mantra gives calculus. That's how our ancients have done it. Algebra is coming out of this one. Then Vedas research the manufacturing of vehicles that can travel in space and water. Om Sutramanam Pratavim Dhyamanehasam Susarmanamaditim Supranitim Daivim Navam Swaritra Managasa Masravanti Maruhema Swastaye. This describes how the vehicles can be described. There's a mathematical equation that it gives you what fuel can use in this mantra. Until you decipher that, you cannot tell. Iyam Vedi Paro Antaha. This mantra explains geometry in Vedas. Ayam Gauho Brusni. This explains how the planets move around the sun and how they spin around themselves. Yadate. This mantra also says sun rays are the reason for attraction between sun and the planets. Till now, no science could tell this point. This is futuristic knowledge. As I said to you, Vedas are past, present, and futuristic knowledge. So sun rays are the reason for keeping the Earth-like planets together in the solar system. This mantra says that one. Now you can do research on this one. This is a futuristic knowledge. Like this mantra says gravitation attraction between sun and planets. There's a very good secret in this mantra, which shows how is gravity working on these planets. Sun, how is it keeping the planets together? Is just like the hair in our skin, how the hair is inside the skin. That is how the gravity is working. This can be submitted as a paper, which we are doing it. Vedas mention that sun rays reflect from the moon, give the strength to living beings, which we all know that moon is for Oshadi. So Vedas describe about automatic machines, telephones, television, and internet. In this mantra, you can clearly see that this entire details are there. Always remember that Vedas are for past, present, and future. Any knowledge can be done at any time. So my suggestions for the Vedic Research Center is to disseminate the preserved knowledge and wisdom of Veda and Puranas, along with defining your objectives, map your audience. First of all, audience are required. Make your research available through websites, social media accounts, research, and so and so. Invite and engage with others, participate and collaborate. Collaborate with people like us who are doing this research for the past 30 years. Use open access for publication. Do the publications. Access your dissemination activities. That is, you first analyze how they are. After a few years, how we did, what else we have to do, and how we can progress further. That's how you have to go across. And apart from that, I would like to finally say one good point. That is, Western society has grown based on funding for projects. There should be money given for the projects. If you want that from Veda, some invention should be there, money should be pumped inside. The business people in India should come forward and donate money for Vedic projects. Then this can happen. Otherwise, this cannot progress further. It will be on the paper, theories will be written, but no practical implementation. So in every mantra, there is math and physics and chemistry, whatever necessary is there in that mantra is given. So God has given the mantra. God is omnipotent. So he gives just not mantra to chant in the temple and get out. No, it is for all purposes. So you have to decipher that one. To decipher that, we require that language given by Panini, who has given the Vyakarana and other things. So by this, I thank all of you to listen to me. And I especially thank India Think Council and Saurabh Pandeyji, who brought me into this session. Thank you very much. Om Yau Shanti.
Thank you so much, sir.
पृथ्वी
अब हम
शांति
एग्रीकल्चर फील्ड में
शांति
आज
शांति सामा
हम सिर्फ मिट्टी में बीज नहीं बो रहे हैं, पर उनको